Why, hello, YouTube. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to Arcades Anonymous. I'm your host, Nerd Lounge Master 84. Welcome for coming out to your local AA meeting. We talk about arcades and how much we want to buy. Buy. That's all we want to do. Is just buy more. We're here to help you buy more and buy things you don't really need. So we're glad you're here. We're glad that you're able to hang out with us. Let me bring in my fellow co-hosts, gentlemen. Looking good as always.
Buy more, save less.
Gamer Fridge, what's going on, buddy?
Just hanging out, just chilling.
Hanging out tonight, tonight as always, right?
Excited to have a great show tonight and just hang out with you guys and chill, man. I'm just ready to chill.
Vader finally made it to a live show. Welcome, Vader. We are glad that you were here, brother.
Yeah, Vader.
We always appreciate you watching the replay for us too. So
PD7's in California.
PD7's in California.
Yeah. He's at Disneyland. That's awesome.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
if I was him, I would check up that Nintendo Land, man. I really want to know how that Nintendo Land is.
It was wonderful.
My wife wants to go, and I'm like, I don't like California, but
I'm waiting for it to be in Florida. I think.
Yeah, me too. But if it's really good, I might make a trip out there.
Yeah, it's really good. We went there in June.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
How is it? I mean, is it?
It was fantastic. Yeah, we had the family. We had two families that went together, and then we had a first grader and a fourth grader with us, and we just lived it up. It was fantastic. So yeah,
awesome.
Well worth it. And then you get these little, the most cantankerous things are these bands right here. They're expensive, and so you get these little bands, and you have to hit things, and you collect coins on them, but they're kind of pricey.
Well, Disney World has those too.
Is that completely different and separate from the Disneyland or Disney World bands?
Because it's Universal, right?
Universal, yeah. It's inside Universal.
Yep.
Ah, okay.
A good friend Gallagher Guy 88's here. Glad that you're in the chat as well, brother. Good to see you as well. Always.
He sent out you a video. You got him sad, man. I don't know what.
We're working on something. I'm not going to go into detail about that. Anyway,
I was hurt, man.
Like did he get a new updated logo or something too?
Yeah.
That's the one that Chaotic helped him design. So
Yep.
Cool. Good stuff. Shame. Yeah.
I was ruthless, man. If you don't come strong, man, with that carpet, man, he's gonna tear you up.
Yeah. You got the show the short. Yeah, we might show the short during the show at some point. I don't know. We'll figure that out. So, Joel, how are you, brother?
Doing pretty good.
Awesome,
Finally getting caught up. Starting to get things, hopefully we'll have some new stuff rolling out here soon. So
awesome.
Got the single player stands well on their way. Might be getting those up for sale by the weekend.
Cool.
Yeah. Fun stuff.
Awesome.
And Cornercade's been bugging me about risers, so gonna get on risers here soon too.
Awesome.
I may only end up selling 2, both to Cornercade, but we'll see.
We'll see how that goes.
Have them show them for you.
Yeah, you have to put "Let's go" on there somewhere, right? You're like,
Let's go.
Put his face on there.
Let's go with the risers. There you go.
Let's go up.
So Matt, what's going on, brother? How was your week?
Work-wise, it's just been nonstop. We're still you guys call it the migraine, but it's the migration where I'm going from the Brocade legacy core to Cisco ASRs, and so all of my changes happen at night, so I don't sleep. But besides that, under the umbrella of we had people over, and the kids were playing in the arcade, and we're stupid blessed. So it's like we've said before, work funds all of this, so we have to work. Yeah, so it is what it is.
Addicted to arcade 1-up. I might be interested in some singles aren't, but I'm not. Let's go.
Cool.
Welcome to the show, dude, or Dudette. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Let's go. Yeah. Let's stay. How about that?
Yeah. There you go. So, real quick, what are you guys playing? What are you guys into right now? What is on your playlist, as we like to say?
Who wants to go first? Yeah, go ahead.
So I've been playing a lot with my MetaQuest 3. And I just found a brand new game called Pistol Whip that I'm digging. And anybody who has a MetaQuest, it's a almost, they have like song, but it's a shooter like virtual cop, but you're going down an alley and you're playing, you shooting to the beat.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And they come out of everywhere, and it's just like bam, 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 and it's like whatever you're shooting, it's actually to the beat of the music.
Beat Saber with guns?
What?
It's like Beat Saber with guns?
Yeah, kind of. But then you're dodging it and stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like Beat Saber with guns, but it's a little slower. And then they have all the different themes too. They're like kind of like polygon-ish, like AI-ish looking.
Yes, sir.
But it's clean and smooth. And I've been I hooked it up, played it on my PC, and I've been I'm just getting into this VR stuff. I'm doing a lot of watching 3D movies in VR. Oh my gosh, that's actually the coolest thing I've ever. I mean, it's actually better than, I have a 3D TV, and it's actually better than watching it on that because it doesn't mess with your eyes. It was put on Avatar, and I'm like, yeah, this is all good. It looks good in the movie. So I've been playing that, and I played a little bit of my ROG Ally. Been convinced everybody to buy one of these. I bought
yeah, you know, that's probably the next thing I'm probably gonna buy. So don't tell my wife. But I digress.
Do this mod though, change those back buttons because those back buttons suck.
There you go.
He was like really cheap doing that. But I Injustice 2, I have now that game on Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. It was $6. I guess Batman's Bruce Wayne's birthday. They had some promo going, so I've been playing that. So yeah, I've been playing that, and I was able to get some high scores on iScored this week. I walked up to my Pac-Man machine, and I'm the Pac-Man fiend around here, and I was able to get the high score. So I, for the moment, have the high score on iScored with Arcades Anonymous.
Don't be ridiculous, Jay. Don't be ridiculous.
We're singing because
oh,
I try not to be that guy. I try not to be that guy. You all gotta get one, but I'm becoming that guy. I'm unfortunately gonna make you all one so I can play with you guys in VR. Well, Stock Jock started it, so I blame him.
Smoke Break, good to see you, brother. Good to see you.
Yep, he's back. He's healthy. I was watching his stream earlier. So
what are you playing, Joel? On Earth? Is this what we're playing?
So this is not what I've been playing, but this goes along with what I've been playing. So
okay,
I found this a couple months ago. This Unearthed, and it's kind of a demo game. It's still in development, so it's on itch, and so you can download it and play it for free. But it is like a logic puzzle type game, and I absolutely love logic puzzle games.
Cool.
And I just recently, so I played this all the way through and been looking around for some other ones to find and play and stuff. So far, this has like been my absolute favorite. But I discovered that there's like kind of a name for this. Sokoban is the style of game, I guess, that this is, these push puzzle type games are.
Yes,
and
sir.
So what I have been playing is this, I don't even know how to say it, Laddernix or something puzzle game. So this is,
I thought it said latex.
It's nothing special. It's what I've been playing, and it's been taking up my time. So,
is that on your Excel machine? You've been playing it on that?
Yep. It's been running it on my new work machine, my handheld work machine.
That's cool.
Awesome. All right, Matt.
Like a game machine.
Matt, what you been playing lately, brother?
Not playing it here. Let's see if I can show it to this and not mess up. That's what this there. Sorry. It's over here. I'm gonna get everybody sick. There it is.
Oh, he got it.
You got the rig.
Yeah,
he got the rig.
So yeah,
nice.
I'm excited for you. I'm really
So,
excited for you.
So yeah, I've been I got the image specifically for the G920 off of Arcade Punks, and
Okay.
90% of them are mapped, and so it's a combination of arcade, Windows, and then all things from like Wii to Triforce, and some Technoparrot. Yes, the most of them you have to remap as Technoparrot. All the Windows ones are plug and play, and so it's dope. So yeah,
Is that when I was showing you? Did they finally come out with the remap?
yes sir. So yeah,
Okay, I
And
haven't
then-
checked that out because I got the other one. I wonder if it's just an easy plug and replace to get the remapping of the wheel.
Oh man.
Actually, I don't like. It's very trendy for people to do Sims with the racing wheel in their hand. Like,
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I did that. Actually, I played Rally 2, Dirt
Yes,
Rally
sir.
2 with the VR in the rig, and I almost got sick. It literally made me nauseous doing it. I was like, I'm gonna throw up. I gotta get out of
Oh
this.
man.
yeah,
Oh
So,
man.
I did try it. I was all excited. I downloaded it, put the rig on, put the MetaQuest 3 on, sat my rig, started playing it, and I'm like, I'm getting motion sickness like you would not believe.
Oh wow.
So I don't know if it's maybe the frame rate or something like that, but it was cool for like 10 minutes, and then I had to like just pop it off and play on
Yes,
the
sir.
screen.
Oh man.
But it is possible. You can do it. There's a couple games that I tried that you're looking around and you can see your feet, you can shift and everything. So it's an experience. But I think if you want to stay not throwing up, I'd just unless you're gonna get like a dedicated PC rig, which I think the frame rate might be better.
yeah.
But it is possible, and you can try it.
Yeah, it's fine.
And I put what was it?
Yeah,
Squadrons. I tried it with Squadrons too, and I almost hurled doing that too, because you're just like. So I almost hurled playing.
Fucking sock jock. Come on now.
What?
Oh, your Pac-Man hat is gnarly. Oh my
thank you.
god! Can you shut JVR up?
JVR.
We need to change your name to JVR.
VR. That'd be cool. Yeah, it's all about VR now. We're switching over to VR.
Yeah, we're a VR channel now. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
so I guess it's my turn. Go ahead.
Exactly. What are you playing?
So
VR.
lately, me and my good friend Chaotic have been. I've gotten the itch of getting some emulation handhelds, and I ended up getting 2 last week before last. So I've been mostly playing just on the handhelds themselves, and kind of just reliving my childhood. Playing some of like the just off the top of my head, Micro Machines, and playing some of the old games that I used to play on the Nintendo, on the emulation machines, and just checking them out, and just trying to get some of the old games that are, that may be in my physical collection that's just boxed up right now, that I'm able to just play, because I've got the emulation devices. So, and then of course I've got to do some more. I've got to upload the new OSs that are for these. That are out there. Was Onion and Garlic, I think it is, for the Emmernick and the Milo setup. So still got to do that, but just having fun with these devices, little handhelds, and
for the Ambernick, you want Amber Alec.
Okay.
Yeah. Amber Alec.
I need to check that out. So, but yeah, I like the Ambernick. I've probably been playing that more than the other one, but at the same time, both of them are really cool devices. So,
what's the form factor difference? Do you have them both there?
The other one is in the bedroom, unfortunately, but yeah, it's about probably about that much taller compared to it. It's the 30.
Yeah.
It's the 35.
I think they just
Plus,
nailed
I
it with
believe.
that Ambernick, the form factor.
Yeah.
It's just, it's a little bit bigger and it's not as travel friendly and stuff, but It's just so comfortable, and I mean, I think it's perfect. I absolutely love mine.
Yeah, and I got it on the TikTok shop for like half price, and it was direct from Ambernick, so I've been pretty happy in the bed apparently. Yeah, that's what I like to do when I go to sleep. When you guys are putting ice scores up, but I digress.
Everybody's putting ice scores up, and they're like, "No."
You can put Baracella on the okay. That's the one. That's the one I have. I did not know I could put that on that machine.
Nice.
So that's a pretty powerful little device then.
So what's the highest that handheld could emulate? Are we talking like Dreamcast? Are we talking
PS1? I thought, but it could do more. I heard that it could do more. So yeah. So and I was telling Chaotic, I'm a big Virtual Boy fan, and there's a couple emulators out for those that I'm trying to grab as well. So I'm trying to get all that.
Is there one for VR? Because that would be the perfect.
That's a good question. If anybody knows.
So I got all the full VR or the.
What'd you say, Joel?
Repeat it. Yeah.
I don't know.
Repeat what you said.
We're talking about Virtual Boy.
Yeah, I've got all the whole Virtual Boy collection on my Ambernick. It will emulate it.
Yeah.
Okay. But I'm just wondering if it would do that depth perception if you were doing in VR.
Yeah, that's a good question, and if it is, then I'm game for that because I love.
If it was completely red and it blinded me, and like in 15 minutes I couldn't see, that would be the ultimate experience.
The ultimate experience.
Because that's what happened when you played that thing. You're like,
probably Chaotic. I've probably been playing Cloudmaster, but that's kind of one of my childhood favorites. Probably not as well known as some of the other ones out there, but. So yeah,
what's the battery life on that thing?
Pretty good. I luckily, honestly, I haven't drained the battery out, and I've been playing 4 or 5 hours straight. So,
better than my ROG. That's like 2 hours and a half. I'm playing, and I'm done.
You're already done. Yep. Mm-hmm. So yeah, been pretty happy with them. So yeah, 4 to 6 hours is what Chaotic's saying. Yeah, I haven't gone that far, but it definitely has held out really well. So.
That's what Chaotic.
Can we cuddle, Todd? No, I'm emulating Destruction Derby. Okay. Wow. Oh boy. But yeah, I'm getting into some of the Game Boy Advance games too. I never had a Game Boy Advance when I was growing up, but when I became an adult, I was starting to collect those, and I have a good collection, but it's all packed away right now, and all my original hardware is too. So going through and looking at some of the ones that are on the these emulators are nice. So
when I did the Paw Patrol hack and I was putting Game Boy Advance games on there, they actually have Street Fighter, Metal Slug, really good versions of Sonic, Mario Kart, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, I've never played any of these. I'm like, and they actually play really good on the Paw Patrol machine, probably even better on your thing. So there's a lot of sleeper hits out there. There's a Street Fighter Alpha on there that plays really good with the 4-way. Mm-hmm. I was like, I'm like, man, I was sleeping on the Game Boy Advance. So they're definitely like, if you find some hidden gems, I would love to.
Ghost Rider has been one that I have found I thought was really good. It's kind of like a side platformer that seems to be real fun, but yeah, it's just getting into them and just scrolling because a lot of these emulators have just so many games, and then trying to figure out what to play, and then some of them are not worth it because they're in Chinese or Japanese, so you're like trying to figure out what's what. So, but I digress. That's what I've been doing. So,
Mario Kart's such a sleeper.
Yeah. So, real quick, while we're still waiting for our guest, iScored, if you haven't had a chance to check out iScored yet and put any scores up on the board, we are going to have a game of the week this week, and this week is what is it, guys?
Burger time.
Burger time.
Burger time.
Burger time.
So, whatever you play on, whether it's the arcade one-up cabinet, ALU, or emulation device, there's tons of ways to play Burger Time
on your Amber Nick.
Yeah, whatever you want to play on. Post your scores to I Scored, and next show, is that right?
Yep, next show.
Pick whoever posts and has the highest score next show will win a Arcades Anonymous t-shirt. So get out there.
We're going to do this every week, but this week we'll have a prize, and you'll have bragging rights too.
Yeah, and if bad guy enters this and wins, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Yeah, he won a tournament. He won the he won the
I mean,
contest.
Burger Time is fun. You guys can put up some scores and fill up that whole roster. So let's put those in there. If you have trouble doing it, let us know. We'll help you get those scores in. So
I'm curious, Matt, what game on here now has the most entries? Is that something you can quickly look at, or is it just because that Empire one looks like it is, and I know Galaga does.
Yeah, Empire is because it like 3 of my people in my household, including myself, we play it.
That's all that matters. Hey, man.
Yeah, that's the table we go back to over and over and over again. And so
Robotron's got some good ones.
Yeah.
Obviously, Pac-Man has probably the most right now.
What's Galaga got? I know Galaga had a lot.
Yeah, Galaga's got a lot. Yeah, Galaga's got a lot.
That's cool.
And Galaga Guy 88 is still holding the record there. So
I don't think I'm gonna even come close.
Well, you gotta at least try, Jay.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to beat like somebody I feel like it actually beat, but that's you can tell where they put their time and effort on, man. That's a great score.
Yeah, it's like his channel's named after or something.
Yeah, like
and he didn't even know that was a game. That was so funny. He didn't even know that was a game.
Well, you better put your wife on it, Gal.
Yeah, put your wife on there. She can win a t-shirt.
She can get a Arcades Anonymous. Yeah, I mean, come on. So, I prefer the real Burger Time at this.
Shake Shack. There's no Shake
Shack. Going 5 miles an hour on the interstate. Galaga Guy, I'm about 6,000 square feet of extra vinyl plaque for you. I'm doing this to make up for Todd's
carpet gate.
Carpet gate. Thank you, Galaga Guy. The check's in the mail, buddy. The check's in the mail. Oh man.
Do you want to talk about like mods and stuff we were doing? We talked about that.
Yeah. We're still waiting on our guest, guys. I don't know. He said he was running late, and I guess we could do a dancing show, but at the same time, we really wanted to talk about the bashbox today, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So many questions.
Just 4K for shipping.
I'm excited to start playing Helldiver.
Are you?
What are you gonna play it on?
Yeah.
What are you playing it on?
On the ROG.
Are you? Okay.
I think if it'll run, should, right?
Mm-hmm. Should.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Did you get the Extreme?
You did. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, it should run. Should run just fine. I was playing Tekken 8 on it, and I was running just fine. So
you talked me into it. I was like, well,
thank you.
The little extra,
I appreciate that.
Might as well get the Extreme.
Might as well. Is somebody playing pinball or ping pong? I hear ping pong.
No?
Okay, it went away. Okay.
Don't worry, MG. I'm gonna drive to Florida. I'm gonna pick up the flooring, and then I'm gonna drive to Galaga Guy's house, wherever the hell he lives.
Ohio.
Install it myself. Yeah, there you go.
He's in Ohio.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Well,
I'm just gonna send him an AA T-shirt and just live with it. So.
I was Shotgun Sean. I've been watching your guys' show, and you've been selling me on Helldiver a ton. And as I started looking into it, I mean, I like shooter games and multiplayer, shooter games and stuff. But problem is like I was super excited when I saw that Helldivers wasn't like me against other people and stuff too. So like there's not like a huge like learning curve of being a noob and jumping in and getting completely destroyed over and over and over again.
Yep.
I was like, oh,
Yeah.
this is sweet. Like you're actually playing against like an AI computer type stuff or whatever, and it's just all the real people, are kind of on a team.
So it's goal like mission oriented. You have a mission. I don't know much about it.
You're battling bugs, alien bugs and stuff, and that's so you're not. It's not like Halo or Call of Duty where you're fighting other real life players.
So it's like that game in Wreck-It Ralph.
Playing is dropping in and playing against the computer basically.
Okay.
Yes, y'all.
Special guests have good carpet.
We screen everybody now, okay? So I make sure that they have good carpet before they come on the show.
Yes.
That's just how this works now. All right.
That's gonna be the first question we ask.
First question. I don't care what the topic is. What's the carpet look like? Yeah.
Todd.
Yeah.
Todd wants to know how your carpet is.
Yeah, it's like how many arcades you have? 0. But let me show you. Let me see my carpet.
How's your carpet?
How's the carpet look?
Did you see what was it, Tech Buzz? He's got his own line of carpet now. You see that? What did you think of that?
I think it looks awesome. I think it looks absolutely
well, Brian
fantastic.
hated it, so because it's not blacklight activated.
Yeah.
So that is
we'll find out. Maybe
I don't know if I don't think the word was hate.
I got 2 coming.
You do? You do?
Wow.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, I ordered them a week or 2 ago, and before like I didn't get the same. I got the circles, the arcade rings, the different colored rings and stuff, arcade type carpet. So I got 2 of those coming, 24 by 36, and they had like some sort of Etsy or some sort of deal where you go on their website and sign up for to get on their like newsletter and stuff, and they'd send you a 25% off coupon to use on their Etsy store. So I signed up for that, and I got like I was looking at, and you can get them on. I couldn't find any patterns that I liked from Amazon and stuff for those rugs, but this was, I think it ended up being about $50 per rug, so I think it was like 2 for $100 shipped. So
yeah, some of those are like $200 just for like one.
Yeah, they were,
which is
pretty expensive.
that's the stuff Todd's buying, but man, I can't afford that. Yeah. I'd rather buy another MetaQuest 3.
Oh boy. But yeah, this is gonna be our April Fool's show. We're gonna come on, and our cameras are gonna be pointed at our carpets. So yeah, that's the plan.
Just
oh boy,
highlight our carpet and put faces on them when time talk.
Oh boy. Well, I don't know where Billy is. I guess we need to send him out an escort or something to get here, right?
If anybody knows where he's at, come get him. Go get him.
Yeah, tell him to come out.
Chaotic is on the highway, it seems. So
yeah.
He might be in.
So what are you guys building this week?
I don't have much going on right now except odds and ends, trying to get stuff done. I really need to get splits built. Really need to get that thing built. So
then you can play us.
Now we're in the off season, so you got a while.
Yeah, and everybody wants to see the storage cake carpet, so I got to work on that too.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, you gotta show up now.
Yeah.
Matt, you just working on your rig?
Yeah, and then they keep releasing some bangers up for the arcade. So they just released Tekken 3, and then some other games. So,
yeah.
So I have like a list of games like I got to push to my arcade so I can play with them. So yeah, the guys over there at PAX R Us they're crushing it. So I randomly pack my show up in Discord and see what you get and download it and store it for later. So yes.
Yeah, I got to get my laptop.
I got to figure out how to get AntStream on my iArcade. So I can fully leverage that AntStream subscription that I bought from Carl O that he was pushing a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I bought it, and I actually got that version to work on the Xbox through the browser. So they have a separate Xbox version of it, but I loaded up the browser, and it noticed the controller, so I could play that version on the browser on the Xbox, and then I can play it on our ROG like normal. So anything with a browser can play that version. And it recognizes you have a controller. It says right up in the button, you want to use your controller, and you're like, yep. And then it goes full screen, and you wouldn't know any different from the regular one. That's what was it, $12 for a year? I did. Yeah. You sent me that, and I was like, yeah, that's worth.
I'll try it out for that. Why not?
I haven't played it since, but
so yeah, Brian, you can connect the ROG Ally to a monitor and controller, keyboard, mouse.
Yep.
So you can do. I mean, you can play games on it. You can do your expense reports and
Excel spreadsheets.
Keep your books for your business.
But can it do like two screens? Because the Steam Deck can literally run Pinball FX3 on the ALP. Can the Ally do that?
I believe it can. I'll try it out and see. I'm almost positive that it can because it's running Windows 11. So
yes, sir.
It's like any Windows machine. So I mean, you plug a hub into it. The thing is, it only has like one, mic or USB-C in, but you get a hub and you plug it into it, and I mean, as many HDMI ports as your hub has or supports, I mean, you could probably run out. So I got a Asus portable monitor as well that I picked up a couple of years ago that is supplied off of just the USB cable and everything for the power and stuff. So I'm going to try that out because I got like a keyboard and mouse, and the keyboard and mouse work great. And you can connect other controllers.
We lost Bill. I was backstage, and we lost him, so I'm hoping he's coming back.
He'll come back.
So, but they have their proprietary ROG graphics card and dock and stuff too, but they're like ridiculously expensive.
Yeah, it's like $1,000 just for the graphics card.
Desktop machine too. I mean, not that it really isn't, because it's running Windows 11. It's not like a watered down version of it or anything. So you can basically do anything off of it as long as supported as far as the board and graphics.
Alrighty. Our long-awaited guest has arrived, so hands together, everybody. Let's cheer. Welcome. The man, the myth, the legend. What is going on, sir? Welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm good, man. I was on my Asus too. I was working on some things.
There you go. Well, welcome to the show. We're glad that you were here.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
Yes.
No. We wanted to talk to you about your product, and
yes.
I know you've been on a couple of different YouTubers shows and whatnot, and we're not a heavy big show by any means, but we definitely wanted to have some opportunity for people to ask some more questions, because I feel like a lot of them didn't get an opportunity to probably ask them. So thank you for joining us. Do you want to tell us a little bit about the product to begin with? Kind of your, I don't want to say elevator speech, but you know what I mean.
Basically, the bashbox, the intent is for it to be a console for mostly independent developers. I was working with different developers on different tasks and the likes, but I wanted the bashbox to be something for indie devs to come in and say, this is where, we have a platform now that we can actually show off our games, because a lot of times indie devs they get lost in Steam, they get lost in the PlayStation Store. Xbox is actually pretty good with Game Pass in getting them in there, but then Game Pass kind of screws them over. Nintendo, some really good games get lost, and a sea of other titles. If you see games like Diesel Legacy, which I was playing at playtest not too long ago, and that got buried under Tekken 8. And that's an amazing fighting game. Tekken 8 is one of my favorite games anyway. But Diesel Legacy is becoming one of my favorite games because it's different, and I love fighting games anyway. So for me, stuff like that is why I'm doing a bash box. I want to appease the crowd where I came from. The iArcade and at games and what have you. Because that's that is from where I started. But my idea is to move away from the arcade scene and into the console scene. And the reason why is because if you look at the natural progression back in the day from the arcades, everybody wanted to bring them home. So, of course, everybody wanted to. You started with television, ColecoVision, then Atari, and then Nintendo, because games would come out of the arcade, then you want to bring them home. That's my idea, is to bring these games home again. Now, granted, they're all home, but, in console form.
Awesome. All righty. Everybody's like, you finally got a legit guess, It's like, no, Matt did it. No, I had nothing to do with it, right?
So yeah, Matt hit me up, and I was working. I was on a different stream trying to just throwing some things off my head. And when I saw Matt, put that, I was actually going to hop in that other stream, but then I had to, take care of the kids. But it was definitely my honor. I couldn't do last week because I had to take the wife out for Valentine's Day. But I definitely want to make this stream. I was in another call too. I almost forgot about this one, and then I actually cut the other call short and told him we'll push it to tomorrow so I could be on the show. So, I really want to be here.
We appreciate that. So really do appreciate that. Looks like Kevin has already pre-ordered it. Looking forward to throwing tons of games on it. So it's awesome to hear.
I think Ricky's pre-ordered as well. Toxin
has that's awesome.
Okay.
From there. So Jay, I know I got a couple of questions lined up. So
throw them at me.
Let Bill have it.
Okay.
We can do round robin. How about that?
Well,
that's fine. I mean, I got a whole list here, so if you guys want to
go ahead, hit him.
So first of all, I mean, I've been watching some of the different videos and stuff like. So the first thing I want to just kind of like re-emphasize or just kind of like emphasize for you, and maybe you can kind of expand on, is that this is actually a Google Play Store certified box, right?
Right.
Is that correct? Yep. So anything you could buy on Google Play, you're going to be able to play on this box,
right? And that's
spec wise.
I don't want to say every title, because there are some titles that even if they have controller support, they don't have mouse support. I've run into a couple of games now where you need additional tools to be able to, like PUBG needs an additional thing to be able to play with the controller too. Not PUBG, Call of Duty needs it's a program called Octopus that you need to simulate actual touches, because it doesn't register mouse clicks. It has to actual touch. But once you're in game, it actually plays, you can actually use a controller for it. But then you have games like Devil May Cry where that plays beautifully on just off of a controller. But I was using PlayStation 5 controller for that. So I was, I want to wait till my new bashbox controller gets in so I can make sure it works with that too. But, it's for at least all of the bashbox titles, they'll be usable with just a normal bashbox controller. But with Google Play games, it might be configuration involved. Oh, and Global Match too. Whatever Global Match games that come in, they'll all be usable with the bashbox controller.
Okay,
awesome.
So that would be so you said there might be some you won't be able to, but like if you hooked it up to a touchscreen, would that make the touchscreen stuff work?
Now I haven't tried that, but in theory it should, because as long as it doesn't simulate a mouse and actually simulates touch, because there are actual touchscreens that simulate touch versus they simulate a mouse.
Right. Yeah, because I emulate, like when we were talking about the ROG, there is a way to emulate Android on here, and I was using the touchscreen, and it was working just like it was an actual Android on here. So I'm just wondering if that you're just saying that it should, if it's simulated just like a phone would, or a
Right.
tablet, it should work. Okay.
It should work.
It should work. All right.
All right, Matt, what you got, brother?
Oh, yes, sir. I'm all about camaraderie and hanging out with my people. So, like online play, like where does everything come in with like online play with all the availability of bashbox in that given scenario?
So global match games, at least the ones from Unico will all be actually they'll all be online. So all the retro titles that come from Unico, they'll all be online. Bashbox games, Bowling 2024, Driver's Edge, Zone Blaster. Zone Blaster I've been showing off a lot more lately. And Pool, those are all online. And then we have a couple of new titles coming. One is a 21st Century Basketball, Street Set Basketball, which is a super dope game.
Yes,
and
sir.
I'm trying to talk with the developer. That's not online yet, but I'm going to work with the developer, see if he'll let me convert it to online, because it's actually a really, really dope game. And I want to I'm probably going to show that off later this week to just to have the advertising out there for them too. But I want to have as many games online as possible.
Okay.
Awesome. Joel, you got anything?
Yeah, no, I'm super excited for it as well. One of the things I really love about, like we were just talking about Ambernix and stuff a little earlier. I really like going on Itch and finding new retro type games, and some modern twists on things, and and that was one of the things I was super excited for about, like, Mystery Encoder was talking about, the whole idea of, maybe being able to open up the iArcade for, indie developers and stuff to bring new games. So that's one of the things I'm excited about your product. Can you maybe tell us a little bit more about, how many, do you have a lot of indie developers right now that are currently working with you to get their stuff on there? Or, what are your plans as far as advertising or whatever, and bringing in, indie developers into your platform, and
So
making awareness of it?
right now I have two, and that's not counting us. But, it's obvious first party now. But I'm working with as many will work with me. So I've been talking with the Retro Studios team to try to get Retromania over. I actually showed them a demo of how it works, how it looks on our system. Both using Switch emulation and using actual the actual APK from iArcade, so they'll have an idea of how it plays. I've worked with I talked to the Mutant Football League guys, and they said they want to see how it comes out, because they have newer versions of Mutant Football League, and after what happened with the iArcade, they want to play it safe. And I said, okay, cool.
Yes,
So
sir.
I've been working with a lot of different indie devs, trying to get a lot out there. So right now, I have two signed on. One, I got to cut the check sometime next month to get him out there, and another one I'm working with. He's got about 20 titles that he's bringing over. These are like mini arcade type titles, and that he's also bringing to actual arcade machines. So they're going to come on the Bashbox, and he'll be able to play. He'll be able to play them out those same ways. And I'm also working with him to try to get those on, as many as he can, online. So it's actually pretty big.
Sweet.
But Prince Malcolm, he talks to indie devs all the time. We're constantly in communication with them, and we tell them, even if they don't want to work with us, if you put them either in itch.io or you put them in Google Play, then we'll give you the APIs for the Bashbox in case you want to bring them that way. I've talked with the Doodle Taxi guy to get his stuff updated for them. I'm going to try to talk to the Donut Dodo team to say, here you go, here's our leaderboards if you don't want to use yours. But the games that work on iArcade just work on the Bashbox anyway.
Sure.
That's good to know.
Cool. Yeah, that was the thing I was most excited about what made me pick up the iArcade and just kind of support it was I like that whole idea of, new modern games coming to like an arcade type platform or something from indie developers. I wasn't really into it for the idea of, picking up all the, the retro stuff, that iArcade was putting out there, but I saw the potential for the new stuff, that was modern takes on arcade classics and geared towards the arcade controls and stuff. So it was a little unfortunate that that was short-lived, but hopefully it lives on here with the Bashbox.
Yep.
I'm hoping so. I'm hoping that with the bash box, and there's a lot of things I've done differently, and this isn't a knock at iArcade at all. But there's just things I'm taking a different approach on in order to make the experience more for indie developers. It's like I'm still supporting retro titles, but I'm trying to move that focus away. So even I've seen a lot of different YouTubers who have said that they just want to grab this. They wish there was just $125 box that, because you can just realistically just buy a Rock Chip 3588 box and throw it in somewhere and it'll just work. But that's not what I'm going for. I don't want just another same way, you buy an Xbox because you want to play Halo eventually, or you buy a PlayStation because you want to play Spider-Man eventually. That's what I'm looking at the bash box is like. I want developers to be able to have a place to put their games, not just on Google Play, because you can put them on Google Play, but then you're limited to either somebody else who understands how to actually load Google Play onto a Rock Chip box, or they'll understand that this is how this works for here. But ultimately, I want to have a place where people can just pick up and play, and just grab a game they want to see. I would love to have a lot of AAA games on here. On here right now, mine. I've been playing Devil May Cry. I've been playing Street Fighter. I'm playing Mega Man X. Those titles I can get from Google Play. But I want to see indie devs that really don't have a place to put their games on here. And I've been seeing a lot that really didn't have a home, or they're getting what they think is a lot of wish lists, and to an extent that is. How many of those convert to sales? I've gotten 30 million wish lists on bowling, but I only made about 10,000 sales. So with a lot of those, I want these people to get something and say, okay, this is front and center. What I mean? I want to see like Wizard of Walls. I want to see Wizard of Walls front and center and actually getting the attention it deserves and not being pushed back from, Helldivers, which is a good game. Don't get me wrong, but you could get Helldivers on PlayStation, and rightfully so.
So MG in the chat was asking if this is the same chip as the ALP 4K.
Yes, very much
and
so.
our good friend Jason said yes, it is. It's the same as the ALP and the ALU.
Yep.
Gallagher Guy 88 asks, is there anything else out there like this? Is there anything else like the Bashbox out there?
So in all intents, I would say that the Shield TV is the only other thing that would do something similar. And for the hardware the hardware it's starting to age, and it's starting to show, it's starting to show its time. The Tegra X1, and don't be wrong, Tegra X1 was a beast. It still powers a Switch, so it's not like it's a slouch of a chipset, but it is showing its age. And there's a lot of games that I've seen run on the Bashbox that run better on the Bashbox than they did on Shield TV, and now that could be cheating because I'm optimizing. A lot of guys are optimizing for the Bashbox, but that's what the reality is. Nvidia is going to put out Shield TV because Shield TV is going to sell because of what it was. I want the Bashbox to have something similar to that. I've been talking a lot about Damien Dealwith's video where he was saying the Bashbox, his comparing the Bashbox to Ouya 2.0, and I've been really with that because that's how I see this. What the Ouya tried to do, what the iArcade tried to do, what various people tried to do, I feel like I'm in a position to be able to help indie dev to get to a better place. And putting the focus on the developers is where, I'm really trying to go with this.
Awesome.
How would you say would you compare to like the Atari, what is it, the VCX or whatever that, because aren't they, I mean, they kind of, I hear that they're pretty easy to work with as far as getting titles and stuff onto their platform, but they're not as well known. They're kind of struggling as far as that, getting that up and off the ground. In some ways, it seems like they've kind of almost abandoned it. But I mean, how does it compare to that?
So you can't really compare the Rock Chip to an ARM64 CPU to an AMD CPU, but I feel like the Atari, and I'm kind of trying to do what they started. It would seem like they started to try to do, because Atari, the only really good Atari games are Atari games, and there's Donut Dodo, there's a few minuscule titles, where Donut Dodo is probably going to be the biggest one, and rightfully so. That's an amazing game, but other than Atari games, like Neo Sprint and stuff like that, you're not really going to see too many indie devs there either. And when you do see indie devs, they still get buried underneath Atari titles because Atari is front and center. And they do Atari has a shit ton of games, so it's like they have a lot to push out. They just in-house content, and then they could easily go back to WB to get some of the games they had from before because they started doing it anyway. But it goes back to where it's Atari is a big name still, to where Bashbox, Bash, we're only known in this circle and we're trying to expand, and that's where the indie devs come in.
Sure.
Okay, and so I'll cut that, I guess. So if the chipset on the 4K LP is the same as the Bashbox, can it run pinball? Like, is there a way to manipulate that to run OTG on the pinball?
Actually, yeah, I wish I had to really show you the video. I've been showing off pinball because there's Zen Pinball. There's a Pinball FX3 on Google Play already that has a lot of tables, and I've been playing the Family Guy table almost religiously. I actually have a video up of me playing Family Guy on the ALU with using the OTG mode.
Nice.
And then
awesome.
Is there a way to do it in cabinet mode versus like portrait?
Yeah, because you can just rotate the screen 90 degrees and you'll have the same pinball. You'll have the actual pinball output. Now, the Arcade Legends pinball system itself only lets you use one screen at a time. And I don't know how they did that there. I haven't worked at games in a while, so I don't remember how all that was working. But even if I did, to be honest with you, it's still Linux versus Android, so I would have to retool everything that I do for Android. We haven't worked on that yet, only because that wasn't the focus. But if it becomes a bigger question of being able to use multiple monitors for that reason, I do know there's a Sharpin app that allows you to do that differently, where you can use a cell phone as a different screen, and then that screen will be the backglass for whatever you want to do.
Cool.
Okay.
So that was actually decent how that worked, but if I can support a different monitor natively, either through USB 3 or split HDMI, I'm gonna try that too.
Okay.
Awesome.
It won't be out of a box. It will definitely be an update.
Right.
Room for growth, right?
Very much so.
Or pay to play, right? It goes back to supporting people who make that given content. So.
Oh yeah. I know with Unico, they have a subscription model that they're trying to that they're looking at doing with the global match and everything from there. But that's still Unico. We're going to have the app available, but their whole idea would be for cross play between that and then their device they're going to have with the Nova Blast.
Okay.
I think that's a good segue too. Like, what does Unico bring into the table for?
Yeah, that's one of my questions. Yeah, what's the partnership and how is that working? And are you guys a brain for the Unico? How is that? Is that something they're just going to throw into your machine and is you powering the Unico machine? Is that basically what's happening?
So, Bash is normally known for software. So I needed somebody, and this was my first time ever designing a PCB. I've done I've done computer builds, and everybody here has put together actual computers, but this is the first. This right here is the first time I've ever designed from scratch a PCB. All the GPIO ports, I know, I can tell you exactly how this works now because, everything in there is pretty much my design. And even the rock chip was almost a Snapdragon, but for cost effectiveness for the user, we went back with the 3588.
Yes, sir.
So
but if I could do a Snapdragon later, I will.
So is that what's going to be going into Unico?
So, they've kind of helped guide you and
Oh yeah. So it's not
that's kind of what they help guide you along as far as giving you pointers and direction as far as the hardware goes. So.
Pointer.
And money. Are there plans that
money?
A lot of money, a whole lot of money. I tell you, Unico, they pretty much put the bill for a lot of this because I went to, a lot of people know my mentor, Jay Mason. He's the president of Unico USA. So I told him my ideas and he told me what he was trying to do before. And I said, well, this is my thoughts and this is where I wanted to go with the Bashbox because I didn't want just another emulation machine. There's a million of them. I have a million of them sitting here. I got a Visco right here. That's my emulation machine. You know, I got different things that can play ROMs everywhere. What I don't have is a device dedicated for indie developers. You know, I don't have a device dedicated for my games. So I wanted something to where another developer could say, you know, I could put my game on a console, and to use the bashbox is the first step. I don't want them to say, oh, you know, I got my game on a console and now I'm set. No, use the bashbox as a place to start gauging your sales, to start doing the analytics. You know, use our, you know, tutelage to where we can help you for you when it's time to put your games on Xbox. So when it's time to put your games on PlayStation, because this should be your first step. Even my developers, I always tell them, don't look at Bash as home. You know, most of all of them said this is home anyway. But you know, I want everybody to get the experience that they otherwise wouldn't get. You know, Bash isn't just about making a bunch of games and, you know, all this money, because we don't really have it. It's about, you know, incubating developers, you know, incubating management. I don't know if you've seen Prince Malcolm out there lately. He's negotiating licensing deals. You know, these are things that you would need 5 to 10 years of experience, that once he decides to retire from the police force, if he wanted to go get a job with Atari, if he wanted to go get a job with Capcom, doing the same thing John D used to do, now he has that experience. Now he has actual titles. Now he has ship titles that he can quantify and put on his resume. And that's what I want to do with everybody who works for Bash. I don't want this to be a place where you call home. I want this to be your stepping foot out the door. You know, I want this to be your school. You know, you go to high school here, and then when you go off to college and you go off to your real jobs, you know, you get picked up at NFL. This is where you start here, but you don't live here. And that's how I want, you know, developers to start too. So, okay, cool. I got me 1,000 to 10,000 sales on the Bashbox. You know, now I can take this to Xbox and say, look, this is making here. Now, you know, let's talk.
Yeah. So you can be like an incubator of this, just being able to grow and hone people's skills on how to. I mean, you're talking about all aspects of the business, not just just everybody.
So a lot of people don't know Ryan Souders. He's my lead retro developer. Me and him started with the Hilo Stick team back in the MVSX days, and actually back in the Neo Geo Mini days. He's the one who actually taught me how to code. To be honest with you, you know, he taught me Linux. He taught me I knew Linux. You know, I knew how to use Ubuntu, but I didn't know Linux like I do now. I didn't know coding like I do. I still can't code nowhere near as good as him. But at the same time, you know, I know enough to be able to, you know, if he tells me what to do, I'll do it. But, you know, we use that as leverage for iArcade. That's why iArcade got so many other games out later in the cycle, because when they came to us and said, look, you know, we'll give you X amount of dollars to just do this for us. I said, well, look, my guy needs a job. You know, he needs a stable income. He has a family. So instead of you paying us, you know, me making the money from it, give it to him, leverage that with a job for him, and then keep him on your staff. That way you don't have to worry about coming through us. And even with that, he wound coming back anyway. But, you know, it's because I try to make sure, I try to take care of my team. Now, ultimately, the whole idea is to have a place where everybody can come in and say, okay, this is what I need. This is how I'm going to get through here. All right, cool. It's, you know, people who want to stay here and work with me, I'm always going to work with everybody. But I always try to make sure everybody gets some type of experience to be able to grow from being at Bash. I don't want you to just come here just to, you know, grab another emulation box. I want you to have something that you can take with you outside of here.
Okay.
That's good.
And so I asked you in just actually one of your videos, because like my ultimate dream was to have your box and have it as a new core for my ALU. And so was there going to be a way to have things just pre-mapped for OTG via the ALU?
They already are. So the ALU controller, at least the first player stick, I've been using the quad play on mine for using it. But like playing games like Ninja Turtles, bowling, stuff like that, the controls are mapped. They're not mapped like iArcade. They're mapped. The bash controller actually maps to the ALU controller, kind of like you would think like a Super Nintendo controller would.
Okay.
Cool. So yeah, that's one of my questions. I had like, what kind of controllers do you are we supporting? You said something about the PS5 controller. I know Glenn's deck. I got that on pre-order right now. I'm waiting on that. And I think all of us have the iArcade. I don't know if you're able to take the actual standard iArcade deck and convert that somehow, or I'm just assuming that the Xbox, the PS4, PS5, and I don't know about the Switch. Switch is a weird controller sometimes. But just what kind of controllers? And then you have your own. You said
Right.
So what
we
controllers
support.
you're gonna have like built into it and stuff like that, or like native support, and maybe might need a little app or something to map it. Like
native
Windows
support.
doesn't. Yeah,
native support is pretty much anything you could throw at it. I've tried to throw some obscure controllers at it, and if I couldn't find if it didn't work, I found something to put in the kernel, and I just we got an update pushed out, so it'll work.
Okay.
The only issue we were having right now is the send-ins, and that's only because of how the kernel driver is. But even that's we found that it's not so much as the send-in itself, is that the games have to support them too. So if the game supports the send-in, then and that game is on the bashbox, then it'll work on the bashbox too. Because I've been using our Zone Blaster First Blast as the kind of the catalyst to say, okay, this is how we're going to get this to work, because that's our first-person shooter. And if it works that way, then it's cool. But even that supports the mouse too. So as long as the light gun itself supports a mouse, that should be fine too. But I know the Wiimote works. I've been playing different light gun against the Wiimote. I've been trying the Switch Pro controller, the Switch using if you got your Switch hack, that actually works. The Wii U gamepad, that hack works. The Xbox controller is what I normally use just on a daily basis, because that's what I model the bashbox controller off of. And PS5 controller works, not just the PS5 controller, it works as an audio input and a mouse too.
Okay. So that touchpad part would work as a mouse?
Yep.
Okay. That's cool.
All right, so can we pivot like the whole notion? You said like light gun games. Are you going to work with indie guys for like sending guns via the Android configuration?
Yep.
Work for it?
Oh,
so right now the kernel driver, we have the kernel driver already built into the OS, so you won't have to. The idea is to be able to plug the sending gun in, and if the game supports it, then cool. If not, then there might be work additional that needs to happen on the sending gun itself. But right now they just work.
Cool.
Yeah, and you said something about the Wiimote. So some people have Wiimotes sitting around, like the Dolphin Bar and stuff like that.
It's being funny.
Yeah.
So the Wiimote is what I've been using, before my sending came in. So, and then once I got a bunch of those. I'm waiting for the Gun 4 IR to come in too, so I can test that. I want to get as many controllers working as possible, so when people play, they'll be able to use it.
Hey, Ryan.
You got Chaotic. Welcome to the party, buddy.
I'm all right. How are y'all?
Doing good.
We're good. Learning a lot about the bashbox.
Yeah. I'm listening. I'm loving it.
Yeah.
So now that you've joined Chaotic, is there any questions that you have? Because I know you were excited about this show as well.
Yeah. Well, don't let me interrupt the vibe. Y'all keep going with y'all's questions, because y'all are actually asking a lot of questions that I had, and I'm loving what I'm hearing, man. I love indie developers. I love small indie developed titles, Donut Dodo and stuff like that. I would love to see Cash Cow DX. That'd be another good one from Donut Dodo's creators and everything. So
Chris Malcolm is already on it. Chris Malcolm is working on talking to those guys, and I'm pretty much at the point where I'm like, look, just shut up and take my money. Whatever it would take to get the game out.
Was that Saturn?
Saturn.
Saturn. Yeah.
I love that game.
Yeah.
I don't know who did that game, but that's like the next
and Galacticon. That's a damn banger too.
Yeah.
There was a game I played recently. I downloaded the arcade version so I could play it on the bashbox called Circus Interstellar.
Yep.
And
those
I
guys
don't know why I've been so into that game lately, but that game is the greatest. I love that game.
I know the developers are around.
It's not. The greatest game. I want to pause for a minute and stop talking about the bashbox, and I want to talk about Tank Bash.
Yes.
Why is that not blown up? Why is that not a huge big thing? Tank Bash, like I was super stoked about that when I saw that when it got leaked, from the iArcade, and I was thinking, oh, this would have been just awesome.
Yeah, they took it
was like just kind of a multiplayer, capture the flag, drop in on the iArcade.
So the leaked version that came on the iArcade, I cannot remember which build it was, and I actually threw that source code away a long time ago. I don't even remember because we kept giving it to iArcade and they kept rejecting it. It was for one reason or another. And I don't want to make it seem like they didn't want to put it out there. It was something was always wrong with it, and that's fine. But with Tank Bash on the iArcade now, I've been trying to fix it using the mystery encoder software, trying to get it working right, and it's just been hell trying to do it. I try to fix it like once a day, trying to get back to making sure that people who bought it for the iArcade, they get their money's worth. So I want to make sure they're working, it's working on it. I am trying to work on building it completely from scratch for, basically on there, because I have the version that's on Steam right now. I got that on the bashbox, but I want to have a version that not only works right on the iArcade, but works with Glenn's Viper board too. So for that, I gotta, I have to make an actual Linux build for it, but that's fine. So whatever, for the fans, I didn't think it was going to be like that. For me, it was just, I liked it, for the time. And then, once it kept getting rejected, it was like, all right, maybe it's just not meant to be, until it got leaked. And then the servers started blowing up, and all of my bowling servers crashed because I forgot I had the test build sitting on the old bowling servers, and then I had all that stuff put together. So what I wound up doing was increasing the Tank Bash servers before they took it away from everybody.
Yeah, that is.
Is it multiplayer? I don't know what it is.
Actually, when I saw it and discovered it, because I was thinking, like, this is what iArcade needed.
Yep. Yeah, because if you're 3 or 103, anybody can play Tank Bash, right? Like JoJo could play it, or my mom could play it. It didn't really matter.
I gotta check it out because I've never seen it. What is it?
It's just, I don't know if you remember the old game Combat for Atari, but it was kind of
yeah.
I was going for that vibe,
or like Tank on the Wii U.
Yeah, something like that actually, where it's but I didn't want it to have just that one shot where you had to wait for it. I wanted it to be as chaotic as possible.
Literally chaotic as possible. All right. Let's see here. Jay, I like the bashbox concept, but we need one that's more cost effective, perhaps without all the video streaming, all the other stuff, no controller and Bluetooth built in. What's your thoughts on that, Bill? What's your take on Jay's comment?
So right now the bashbox is the price it is only because that's how much it costs to produce. It's not really like, it's not a normal, it's not just a simple rock chip PCB. It's, this is a PCB that we had to design, this PCB we had to get manufactured, and every, the likes from there. Even if I took the controller away, the controller only added about $10 more to the cost. The Google costs money, the licensing and everything from there costs money. The license, I can't go into licensing too much, but that costs money. The games that we have on there, all that stuff costs money. And to be honest, I've been telling people, whenever it's like they just want to throw, Arcade 35, 88 box up there and, get a whole bunch of games, because you can run some really high end, emulated games on here, but that's not what we're going for with the bashbox. What we're going for is a different experience with consoles in general. And yeah, it's Android, it's Google Play and what have you. And there's a lot of things you could still do with other Google Plays, but the bashbox is going to have its own set of exclusives that you can't really do with Google, at least not right now anyway.
Yeah.
So right now, I made it to the point to where, the profits that we're getting is simply paying the developers. Because like I said, I'm not in this to make, I'm not going to get rich from the bashbox. And the whole idea is to make sure developers have a place to put their stuff out there.
Yes, sir. Yeah, just to put it kindly, like you're not a sketchbox, so you're legally doing things the right way. And so it's not, yeah.
This isn't just an emulation console. Yes, you can play, whatever you can get from Google Play. You can play your RetroArcs and everything because they come from Google Play. You can customize the bashbox however you want to do it. You can install new images on here however you want to. We do have, I don't know if you guys can see it that well, but I have different GPIO ribbons as well that all around the box, that when it's time for, a lot of other developers have been asking me what are these for, and I've been giving them the schematics for everything else for when they want to actually showcase the, do different hardware type tests and everything from there. The whole idea is to make sure you don't have to have too many different adapters for different things or too many daisy chain things. So that's what we're working with Jeff Bittner's.
Oh,
Yeah,
JJ
Chaotic had to
question.
leave, or not Chaotic. I'm sorry,
Oh.
G.I. Joel had to leave us. He was having trouble with his connection.
Internet
so,
issues.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
have a great night, G.I. Joe. We'll see you next week as well. Let's see here.
So I have a couple of different questions here for you.
Sure.
So you were talking about all these different developers and stuff you had. So as the bashbox UI and stuff like that, and I'm assuming you're gonna have some kind of store, online store or something like that. You correct me if I'm wrong. So is it going to be actually being, because when the biggest thing about the iArcade was you couldn't buy the games on the actual machine. So are we going to be able to have it's like a PlayStation store or Xbox store or Nintendo where we can actually get the games right on the machine?
Yep.
And maybe you're going to have like, I don't know, this is where you probably can make money is promoting different things, or like maybe that would help sweeten your contracts and stuff like that. Maybe promote them, and maybe even have like themes or what kind of are you going to have under the AI, under the UI kind of interface? So we're going to have folders, or all the stuff that Nintendo refuses to do.
Correct.
Is that something how's that working?
So the Bash store will be available after launch. It won't be available when it launches, but it's definitely coming. It's definitely a priority because we pretty much locked down the pack-in titles now, and I've been working on different storefronts, and it's just a pain in the ass to actually get it running right. So Global Match will have its own store for retro titles. You'll have Google Play, and then you'll have the Bash store. The Bash store will be kind of like what the iArcade was going for with their webpage, but it'll be just on the system itself.
Okay. So are you looking to make it just kind of UI is going to be like a customized UI, and you can put in you're going to bring in like PlayStation. You had to like kick out to go to the Play Store, and you kick out to go. What was the other one? Unico store. Is it going to be like a separate experience, or how you can kind of come in and out?
So it's going to be basically 3 separate apps. You have the Google Play app, you'll have your Bash app, and then you have your Unico app. And you'll definitely have to go to the Bash store to get the stuff in, but you'll be able to download. You'll be able to buy and download whatever you need from there.
Okay. So are you working on a customized UI though for your system?
Actually, we have one. So the UI we're currently using actually came from a Google Play developer. His name is Kyle. I think it's Eichlin, but it's he developed this launcher called the console launcher. He's tailoring one directly for the Bashbox, and that'll give you not just different themes. I don't know if you've seen some of the videos where I've shown off, playing the games. I've used like 8 different UI themes, and they're all customizable in the actual launcher itself. Not to mention, if you just want to use your stock Android launcher, you can use that too.
Okay.
And you can actually download brand new launchers and replace both of them if you want.
So this is going to be this customizable to the T.
Right.
So one feature I want to request is it going to have a pause button? Because that's my favorite thing about the iArcade is being able to just pause and then like kick out.
It won't be the same way. Only reason we can't have that the same way because Global Match has paused differently, and Google Play games they all have different types of pauses. So it's like
like your stuff.
Yeah, our stuff probably not. It probably won't be the same way the iArcade is. Like you can pause, but you won't be able to pause the same way. And then with certain games like Zone Blaster, you really don't want to have that anyway because it'll cut you out of the server that you're playing on. So if any break in the network connection would also cause problems.
Well, that's par for the course if you use it.
Yeah.
But that's one of my favorite pieces is just all the other machines and stuff like that. You get in a game of Pac-Man, something happens, you'll be able to pause it and stuff like that. I just love that feature. So just
it won't be like the iArcade.
Something to think about.
Yeah, it won't be like the iArcade does it, but I know if Unico Global Match, you hit start and select in a retro game, and it just goes into. If you've seen any Unico product, it's the same. It's the same interface. So MVSX, Neo Geo Mini. If you're used to that actual interface, it's the same thing.
Gotcha. So as far as I know you said you got pre-orders up right now,
Right?
Is this going to be available like on Amazon or like are you looking like partner with any kind of online stores or anything like that we can get this after after the pre-order stuff is all done and stuff? Is this something you're looking to sell? I don't know, on your own store or something like that. What's your plan on that front?
So we got Amazon, of course. We're working with Micro Center to try to get them in there.
Okay.
Whatever
awesome.
store, wherever I can get it that people are asking for it, I'm going to try to make it happen there. I've been working with a distributor out in Canada because a few people were like, we want this in Canada too. So it's coming in Canada.
That's awesome to hear.
Cool. So how long has the pre-order been up? How long have you?
I put them up in December, and then I've been just trying to add more information as people said, you don't have enough information. I try to add as much as I can, and pretty much trying to run that website by myself. So whatever people, I wait till people say, hey, this is, I want to see this more. I want to see more of that as I can talk about it. Cause the only thing I really can't talk about right now is licensing, but as I can talk about more things, then I'll start adding more and more to the website. But as far as like Bash titles we secured, I got all of those in there. Except for like 4 that we just recently acquired. So those 4 games are going to be up there sometime this week too.
Okay.
And then you said you had an official launch. When are you considered officially launched?
Well, the launch window right now is end of April, early May. That's when I want to get the first pre-orders out.
Okay.
Nice.
That's when people will start to be able to see what it can do and stuff like that. That's awesome.
Right. So right now everything is in QA. Like everything right now is like we're trying to tighten up bolts. There's a few things I want to do more with Zone Blaster, and I went back to the drawing board a few times with that. But other than that, we're tightening bolts.
Okay, guys. So I'm curious, like, what you see what's going on with like the at games and what they're delivering these 4K machines. This is pretty much a brand new product for them too, and you've seen all the hiccups and people. Are you like, if there's little things that you can fix later, are you going to keep pushing it out, or if you run into like a major problem, are you going to be like, we're going to need to hold off and maybe how are you going to handle that? Because it's coming. It's coming.
I've been notoriously too transparent. I very much am the same person who's leaked everything on my own head. So I got better at leaking my own stuff, and I don't hack my own crap anymore. But I do provide tools for it for people to do it themselves. But either way, I try to be as transparent as possible. Hey, something's wrong and what I do is, let's say it's something wrong that I don't even know, we're working on. I'll put it up there. I'll make a video about it and say, hey, this is what we're working on. This is what I'm doing. This is what's broken. I've reached out to different people in the community that's been in different areas where, sorry, they, with the arcade scene as a whole, especially the state it's in now, I've been trying to move away from it anyway. But, I've been trying to use the knowledge gained from there as transitioning point to say, okay, we're going to console. This is how we're doing this. This is how we're going to work this angle. So with the things at games are doing, we're not trying to do the same thing. We're not trying to compete with at games. I can't compete with PK, especially him being my old boss. I can't compete with Arcade 1-Up. I can't compete with, having Microsoft licensing. And I don't want to. I don't even want that same, because that was the case. I would just stay with Unico, and I would just build a Bash, that same interface, put it on a Nova Blast, and that's how it worked. You can put the bashbox in Nova Blast if you want, but I really wanted something that, for indie devs.
Cool.
That's
awesome. It's a whole stay in your lane and you're passionate about it, right? So
yeah.
It sounds like you're just trying to cut out your own groove,
I'm trying to get out of my lane. That's the problem.
Well, you're trying to create a new one. You're trying to create a new one in
right
in your own path. Yeah,
it's like I'm using the same skills. I've known from back when I started with Unico, and then the same skills I worked on at games, same stuff I worked on my own with iArcade. I'm trying to get away from the arcade scene and trying to bring that to a different area. So people who want to play, emulation boxes are dope. Go buy one. I don't want that same product. If you want to put emulators on here, and try to, grab a couple of games from this indie dev, try something different. And this is what we're going for. I don't buy, I can play the same PlayStation 2 games on my Xbox Series X, or I can play Halo and I can play Tekken 8. And that's what ultimately where I'm looking at the bash box. Like, all right, cool. You can play this on here if you want to play it, but you can play Street Fighter 2 30 different ways on 30 different systems. You can't play Street Step Basketball on nothing else but Steam. And then even then, how many people knew it was on Steam before they went on sale for 99 cents? Because, the game went out there. How many people know about Street Step Basketball? How many people know about D's Legacy? How many people know about TJ McBoogie Butt? You know what I mean? These decent titles. And outside of the arcade scene, how many people know about Donut Dodo? Yeah. And that's where I'm trying to bridge that gap.
Okay.
That's awesome. I have one more feature that we as a group, we're a very competitive group, and I know you mentioned you have your own scoreboard stuff. Have you heard of I Scored?
Yes.
So the guy who creates it is very open to like integrating this into any kind of game or something. I know he's really excited about it. This is what we use for our own high score community and stuff like that, and something you can buy and stuff. Is there any chance we could get like integration of like something like I Scored into some of these devs games? I think it would be a really cool selling point that this is integrated, and if you put your own account in there, and then it would automatically, when you got a high score, shoot it out there and stuff. It's just something that I think you would be primed to be able to push something like that, because if you're working with indies and stuff like that, they're looking for an in or like just something different. Just having that option would kind of be cool, because we've been using it and it kind of is helping our community just competitive and stuff like that. Because in the end of the day, we like playing games and we like playing them together and stuff like that. So I mean, scoreboards and stuff. I mean, I think at games or Arcade 1-Up figured it out that high scores mean something and stuff like that. Just a thought, just an idea that maybe we could throw that out there. I know you probably have your own scoreboards, but I mean, he's already done all the work, so I thought it would be kind of cool to throw it out there and see. We
do have scoreboards, but that's something I didn't know. That was a thing that you could integrate and into your own stuff. So if you have the link or his contact info, shoot it over to me, because I'll contact him tomorrow.
All right.
Dope.
Forget where. Yeah, I know. I've watched. What's that? That retro gaming magazine. He was on there a couple times. Yep. I forget what it's called. If you guys can help me out with that. But he got on
Old
there.
School Gamer.
Old School Gamer.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So he's interviewed with those guys, and he's very open to having his API out there. And I think I think Die Hard Pinball was the first one to integrate it into the actual the game, and it could just load it right up there, and it's international scores, and we have a bot for Discord. It automatically updates and stuff like that. So he's done a lot of the work for high scoring and stuff. It's got iscored.info or something like that.
Yeah, Jason put it in the chat.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Jason.
Jason, if you can, shoot that over to me on Facebook. I'm gonna email him tonight.
Oh, awesome. Yes.
You just made Jay the happiest boy in the world.
Yeah, because it's really cool, because you could have your own, because I have my own personal one, and you can have it in your own arcade room, but then you can have the group one like we have, and it's just a community thing that I think it would really be something that if your developers added that feature to, I think it's just be a selling point. And say, hey, you can add this to your iScore.
Yep, I agree. Yeah, score chasing has brought our family together. Like it sounds goofy, like basically competitive and stuff. Like everybody in our family has caused us to play these more often. So it sounds weird, but it is what it is.
So for Kevin, I don't have a newsletter yet, but now that you've mentioned it, you're like the third person today who said I need some type of mailing list. So I probably should get on that today, because I've been posting everything in the I put a lot on Twitter, put a lot on the Bash page, but I think a newsletter or something that comes through the email would probably help a lot of people. So He's third person to tell me, so I got to get it together. I'm gonna I'm gonna work on that. If not this week, this next week. It'll definitely be before March 1st.
Cool.
Well, you're a busy man. We understand. You always got a lot going on, so for sure. So
well, the community as a whole is huge, and what it is that people seeing what happened with the arcade. Arcade went up is starting to dwindle down to to what they're getting now. But even then, they're still putting out the same Street Fighters. And I'm a super Street Fighter fan. Like I love Street Fighter, and I've been playing Street Fighter since Street Fighter 1. So it's not like I don't like it, but
what's the next Street Fighter? Who's going to make the next Street Fighter? Is pretty much what you're saying.
Yeah, but I've played Street Fighter since I was literally 6 years old. So I want to see something different, and I got Street Fighter 6 too, but I want to see something, more. I don't want to keep playing the same games over and over again. I can play those same games over and over on 30 different systems. Yes, I can play whatever I want on pretty much whatever system I want to play it on. And that's cool with me. I can play Neo Geo games on my Visco. I've been playing Metal Slug 5 all day on my Visco machine. I've been playing different games, on different emulation devices, everywhere. But then I look on Twitter, Prince Malcolm does his screenshot Wednesdays, and he does different things to show up to indie devs. I keep seeing this one game called The Wave of Monkey, and I need this game in my life so bad. I keep tweeting at the developers, telling them, hey man, when this game coming? I need this game. And I see different indie games, different indie titles. There's so many games out there that I wouldn't have otherwise seen until I got put in this position to where now I want to play this. I don't want to keep playing the same. I don't play normal games like that anymore. I've already beaten God of War 30 million times. I don't want to keep playing God of War. Even with Ragnarok, I haven't even touched the Ragnarok update yet. I haven't played Spider-Man 1 or 2 on PlayStation yet. I think the only thing I play on PlayStation is Virtual Fighter. On Xbox, the only thing I play is Tekken 8 and Street Fighter 6. And
I highly recommend Spider-Man, though. I highly recommend
it's not a bad game. I don't want to make it seem like these are bad. These are amazing games, but they're games for what they're good for. These are when I want to play something long or something like that. I'll go back to PlayStation. If I want to play it, I'll play it. But more often than not, I'll get caught up in any game. I'll get caught up in Super Meat Boy. I got caught up in Broforce. Broforce has been the game for me for a little while. So if I can get hold of those devs too, I'm going to get them. But it's a lot of different titles that I could see out there, and a lot of different games I wouldn't have been able to play otherwise until I got here. So now I'm looking at all these games. This is what I want to play. And even with Street Step Basketball, once I saw that game, I told Prince, hey man, you need to go talk to that dude. Tell him, give me a number. Let's work a deal because I need this game. And it's going to be a packing title now. I'm going to try to work with him as much as I can to make the game online, because when you see it, you're going to be like, oh, shit, I can't play this online yet. But at the same time, it's really good with couch multiplayer. It's a really good game to play against somebody else. So once I showed off this week, you'll get what I'm talking about. But it's one of those games where it's like, it's amazing. And that's the type of game. Those are the games I want on the Bashbox. I want to get people to see other people's creativity where you wouldn't have otherwise seen it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Awesome. Chaotic, man, you've been too quiet, dude. I know you got something brewing, right? Come on.
I mean, I've just been trying to answer questions in chat and everything about rock chips.
Yeah.
But yeah, you ever played a game called Rising Hell on iArcade?
Yes, very much so. I love that game.
Yeah, I do too. I want to see like a sequel of that on something like this. This would be cool. So I'm excited about this. If
they were willing to do a sequel, I would work with them to whatever services I can offer from Bash, even personally. I don't know what engine they're using for it. I don't know if they're using a specific engine or if they just straight built their own engine for it.
Yeah, it says Unity engine.
Oh, if it's using Unity,
yeah,
that's where we specialize. So if we can support them in any way to make a sequel to Rising Hell on any platform, it doesn't have to just be in the Bashbox. I've been trying to work with I've been talking to a lot of different guys, especially with the RetroSoft and the Donut Dodo guys. For those people who got those games on the iArcade, I've been trying to work with them to get it not just on the iArcade platform, but on Glenn's Viper box too, because Viper is an Android. So You know,
Right.
games won't just port the same way. You can't just port a Unity game to the Viper box. It's actually a process within Unity that you have to do. But I've been working that out with Unity to say, look, this is what I need to make this happen, and trying to work with different developers to get that out there. So, you know, with Glenn's Viper board, even if you don't buy the bash box and you want these games on the arcade, I'm still working with these developers to get this stuff on that Viper box too, because the Viper box is the next logical upgrade for the arcade, to be honest with you. And with that, you know, I'm even with our games, I'm trying to port bowling over to it. I'm trying to get different titles over to them too, because, you know, Glenn has been a huge, you know, support, you know, and influence on me, because when I started doing bowling, I used his trackball to develop it, did get trackball working. Little known fact, when we had Golden Tee licensing before on arcade, we used Glenn's trackball before they announced the trackball. We hacked up Glenn's trackball that I was using to work with bowling to get Golden Tee working on arcade.
So you had Golden Tee licensing for the arcade?
You would shit yourself if you knew what licensing I had on the arcade. If you knew what games I had. So I don't have them anymore. So I can talk about Golden Tee. I had Street Fighter the movie licensing. I had a few different titles that I had a lot of LJN. I had a lot of the the LJN was different because I needed WWE licensing and I needed Marvel licensing. I don't have Marvel money. And but with NFL, we had a loophole that we could use for some of those games, but they just weren't good. But ultimately, you know, money would have been a factor at any point with arcade. So a lot of it we just couldn't do.
Okay.
Right.
That's crazy.
It's a shame.
So you said you guys are software based mostly. So that bash, so you're gonna have like your bash store per se. Mm-hmm. Is this gonna be able to maybe port it over to mobile or different? You know, maybe the Viper can have the store too. I mean that's where everybody makes their money is in those stores, not just hardware.
So
is that something you're thinking about?
So it's still Android. So if we could move it, once we get it to a certain point on the bash box, if we can move it to Android, we'll definitely do that. And I've been going back and forth with myself about if I want to do a storefront or if I want to integrate something with itch.io. And you know, whatever's easier for developers is what the route I'm going to take.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, I would say developers and users. I mean, you want to make it easy for somebody. I'm thinking if you had your own store, we could go into the Bash store. We had our payment information in there, and we know we bought it from you, and we have that store on a bunch of different machines, your Bash box, maybe the Viper board or your phone. We buy it once, we can play it on all these devices. I think that's, I mean, for me, I would be like, buy it from you instead of buying it from Steam or the Play Store, because I know if I buy it from you, I can play it on all these devices and I'm good to go.
That's the idea. So even, you know, with the bash box, I'm also looking forward because I want to do a bash box pro because again, Snapdragon. My goal is to have a device that's about as powerful as the MetaQuest Pro, and without the VR in this, you know, because obviously I do a VR, but if it had that same level of power without a VR, it's actually you know, a beast of a system. So with you know, with that Snapdragon and with that level of RAM and everything, if I can make that cost effective, I'm going to do one of those too. And with our titles now, if you look at something like Heavy Metal Titans, is actually beautiful on the bash box. Like I don't know. To me, it looks like a completely different game, and that's maybe because now it's in 4K. But you know, playing that on something like this, and then if we get a Snapdragon and he's able to, you know, further increase what he could do, you know, it's going to be huge. And if we could once we're able to do 4K at 120, you know, and these titles, especially pools, is probably going to benefit most from that. But you know, games like that is going to be huge. Heavy Metal Titans is a pack-in title, by the way.
Cool. All right.
Good.
Awesome. All right, guys, y'all are getting quiet. No silence. No silence.
That's your cue, Todd.
That's why I spoke
up. Just you know, for closing, you know, for people who said I haven't shown it off, this is the bash box. This is my dev board but the case itself will be yellow, and when you take it apart, it's going to look just like this. Reason why is because we want everybody to have the same. We want everybody to have the same unit. If I can develop on it, you can develop on it, and that's the big thing with the bashbox. But ultimately, we want this to be a place where any developers can shine. I don't want another emulation box. I don't want to build another emulation box because there's already 30 million devices that can do that. Ambernic has the greatest ones ever. And that's cool. I could play Switch games on Ambernic devices. I could play Switch games on my Switch. But, there's a lot of different titles that you can't play on Ambernic right now. You can't see a lot of there's games on Bashbox that you can't play on Ambernic right now because there's no method for it. Obviously, if you could find an APK, if you find a way to extract the APK on the Bashbox, then you pirate the game somewhere else, then cool. You have another place to play them. But, when you want to get new games that you haven't seen before, that's why the Bashbox exists for me. This is what we're trying to do. We're trying to do what Ulya started. We're trying to do what Jong started. We're trying to do what Shield TV started. We're trying to bring home, a lot of this, what we started with the arcade scene and bring it into the console realm. And with the, working with Unico, working with John D has been like my biggest support, working with these guys. It's been a huge help with bringing it back home. And ultimately, that's what we want to do. We want to have a place where indie devs can shine and move away from the arcade scene and into the home space.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Awesome. Well, Bill, thank you for joining us tonight. We really appreciate you.
Thank you guys for having me. I super appreciate you guys.
Hey, no problem at all.
Thank you, sir.
You definitely opened my eyes to possibly getting this. So no promises, but I'm definitely looking at this as well. So I appreciate the info, and I hope that we were able to get some people that wanted info could get some info. So really appreciate
I'll have more to show. I was super hoping to have a new title to show you guys today, but I kind of broke some stuff. So I'll definitely show that off. I have videos going on tomorrow, but for the next couple of days, I'm definitely going to be showing off Zone Blaster and the Street Set Basketball.
So where can we see that? Is it going to be on YouTube? Or
it's going to be on my YouTube. I'll probably put it on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, the usuals.
Okay.
Yep. And
look for me on Twitter, Old Man Ruckus.
Old Man Ruckus.
And when you come out with your newsletter, I'm definitely going to sub to that or subscribe to that so I get your newsletter as well. So
all right, gotcha.
Forward to that as well. So
all right,
alrighty.
I appreciate you.
Thank you guys.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you, Bill. Well, that was awesome, guys.
How you feel?
Awesome.
I feel good. How you feeling?
That was awesome. Right now, man. I feel like the man sold it to me, man. This is great. It's great.
I like at first I just like the mentality and the idea of just cultivating new talent, and I think just the mindset's great. I mean, besides just the box itself, the way his idea and his vision, I can get behind that.
Yeah.
And I think I'm a big console guy just as much as this, but I think it's awesome that you have the ability to put this in a lot of different things. So it just kind of opens the avenue to a lot of different things.
Yeah. So basically, we can put it into an arcade box. We can put it into make it into a console, and it's modular. So this is great.
Put it into the Unico Nova Blast. Yeah.
And also, Bobby was he was chatting off and on throughout the chat. Like, if Bobby gets involved in this, there's the sky is the limit based on how many games are going to be on this thing. It'll be crazy.
No doubt.
Yeah. You can put it inside of a 1-up cornercade. You just need the HDMI converter. That's it.
Yep.
LVDS converter to
do an awkward pause. Awkward pause. All right, so Chaotic, we need to do a carpet check. Let's see the carpet real quick.
Oh, my carpet's banging.
Yeah.
It's over there somewhere.
My good carpet's in the other room.
Carpet check's good. Okay, let's go. We're good.
Let's go. I came in late. Get to watch a replay, man.
Yeah. You just need to go. So what are you playing, Chaotic? Because you missed the front of the show. We were talking about what we were
Oh
playing.
yeah. So I'm playing Ori and the Blind Forest on Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, you've been hitting the Switch hard lately too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Been focusing on that. I actually just bought 2 games on Switch tonight. I bought Warhammer Bolt Gun, which is like a boomer shooter, kind of like old school Doom and Wolfenstein.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one I bought Super Mario Party Superstars.
The good one?
Yeah, the good one. So I want to be able to.
Oh, we're gonna play then.
Yeah, I want to be able to have like a Sunday night where we all get together and play Mario Party.
Yeah, we need to do that. And did anybody pick up Mario and Donkey Kong?
Mario vs. Donkey, not yet.
Yeah, I saw that came out, and I meant to pick it up this weekend, and I just did not get a chance to do it. So
my son's a Switch guy, so he might have had it. So
yeah,
boomer shooter for me. Yeah, not a boomer.
Yeah, got him.
Still not a boomer.
Okay, MG, what did you think about it? If you're going to, my wife wants the Infinity game board.
Gosh,
Cornercade.
No,
Amazon has it for less than $450 right now.
I seen it open box.
What size is it? Is it the 32 or is
it's the new one? It's the
18?
Actual one. Yeah,
glorified.
I might have to.
It's the game board, not the game table.
I might have to pick that up as well because my daughter's been wanting one.
Best Buy had one for $330 open box.
There's some on eBay that are like, they have like minor problems with it, but I don't know if I want to venture there or not. So
I think Cornercade works at Best Buy. He could get a deal.
Mm-hmm.
He can get a deal.
Yeah, the Infinity game board on Amazon right now is $457 or $91 for 5 months.
Yeah. Well, if we keep selling kitchens, that might be a possibility. Oh, he has the 32, huh? And they play physical board games on it. Of course you do, MG.
He plays chess on it. He's playing checkers.
He's playing chess and checkers on it.
Do you have to buy? So how does that work? Do you have to buy? Does it come with all of them? Do you have to buy the games separately?
It comes with games some of them.
But
you have to buy other ones,
Yeah, some of them are free, but a lot of them you got to pay like $3.99, $4.99 for games.
He's not even joking. Yeah, you wish you could get something that big, but have it more interactive.
It's $1,000, man. I'd probably buy
for
that.
32-inch. That's terrible.
I'd buy a 4K pinball over that.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a struggle.
Yeah.
We live in trying times, gentlemen. Trying times.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts before we send these nice people home?
VR is awesome. You should all buy one.
You really, really need to get like an Infinity, like a link of some type.
For Amazon, I got Amazon links I could give you.
Yeah, affiliate links. If you're gonna be pushing the merch of that kind of merch, instead
the
of
good
the
merch.
Other kind of, yeah, you need to be pushing.
I got to get my own merch too. I got to get that going.
Yeah, you need to get with Joel and see if we can get you some T-shirts and what.
I got my logo. I got to work on getting it better though.
Yeah.
So next week. Remember, real fast. Remember, Burger Time competition. Don't forget. Yeah.
Yep.
Pop that up again. Pop that up again. We can show that.
Yeah. Let's see here. So post your
people
score.
Coming late.
Yeah. Post your score on the I Scored Arcades Anonymous. Next week, high score on Burger Time will win a Arcades Anonymous T-shirt. And let's see who's on there right now.
I think 6 is
just 6
half a dozen.
Yep,
half a dozen.
2800 is not a hard score to beat on Burger Time, so we could definitely take Mr. Half a Dozen down. Play that on whatever you got that has Burger Time on it. Post the score on I scored. So come on, you got the show
Show
short?
Galaga guy short. You gotta show it.
Oh yeah, you gotta.
You gotta show
All
it for
right.
everybody that didn't see it.
All right.
No, don't peace out yet, guys. You gotta see this if you haven't seen it.
And
I know this is sad.
If you haven't subbed to Galaga Guy yet, 88.
No, MG, do not build that arcade 1-up burger time. You send it to me.
No, send it to me.
No, send it to me. You're my boy.
Let's see here.
Bring it to Chicago.
Let me stop sharing here. I wonder if it'll. There we go.
Full screen it.
I can't hear the audio.
Can't hear the audio. Let me.
No.
Let me go here.
You just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand. Walk out the door, you see someone that you know, and they ask you how you are, and you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Never understand.
Someone that you know, and they ask you how you are, and you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't.
It's all Todd's fault.
They would never understand.
All Todd's fault.
Broke that man's heart, man. I feel it.
You just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't.
I mean, look at him. Look at he's struggling. He's struggling not to break out.
Ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're
Some
fine.
tears, man. Holding back the crocodile tears, man.
Understand.
I know he did all that work on his room. He's filmed it for us. Only thing Todd could
really fine,
focus on was
into it because they would never
garbage
understand.
carpet.
Walk out the door, you see someone.
Oh boy. And it lives on forever. And
It does.
Yeah, I was telling my wife and daughter about it, and she said, "So you're a carpet snob?"
So-
And I was like, "Yeah,
Carpet
I'm a carpet snob. Yeah."
Buy a Todd shirt, and on the back it needs to say, "Don't judge my carpet."
Don't judge
Don't
me.
judge my carpet. Yeah.
Oh.
Best into the show. Best into the
Yeah.
show.
We love our community, man. Love
We
it.
love you, Galaga
Love
guy.
it.
We love you, buddy. Yeah. 3/4 inch carpet diva. Oh, that might have to go on a shirt too. That might have to go in a shirt
That'd be
too.
your new name.
Oh,
3/4
God.
inch carpet diva.
Oh God.
Oh my gosh! Somebody needs to clip this and keep
Oh
that. That is
Lord. Okay.
that is the new. That is your
Yeah,
new.
we're a carpet channel now. Yeah.
Oh, we've been a carpet channel.
All right,
Me
somebody
put-
clip this. Matt's not laughing.
I feel the love.
3/4 inch
right,
carpet
gentlemen.
diva. That is the best. That is the best. I love that.
Oh, all right, guys. Well, y'all have a fantastic week. We love each and every one of you. Y'all have a wonderful week. We will see you hopefully this Sunday. We need to get together and play some video
Yes.
games and have some fun this weekend because all of us have been working really, really hard. So
That
we need
OT has
to
been killing
hang
me.
out. So anyway, y'all have a great week. Thank you for watching. If you're catching the replay, hit that like, hit that sub for us.
Sub.
If you haven't subbed to any of the guys on the channel, make sure you hit that sub for them as well. We will see you next week on Arcades Anonymous. Thank you again, and peace out.
See you guys.